What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone uh, for another daily news update where there's been another day where absolutely nothing happened. It's I'm not even gonna say it's unbelievable. It's actually very believable because that's what it is this summer, and I think we just need to make our peace with it at this time. I will go over the latest updates, the latest links, and whatever you want to call it. Um, just to spice it up because it sounds good, even though it's not gonna happen, and I will explain why. It's probably impossible these things are gonna happen, and then we will go over, the usual update, Lukaku, the winter, all those things because it's moving, it's shifting, but at the same time, nothing is actually moving and shifting. But before we get into it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's go. And this is not working, which is not good. Whatever. So no intro for some reason. No intro today. It's messed up, like our like our summer basically. It's a complete mess. Not sure why that's not working. But let's go straight into the main topic, and that's Thuram, another Thuram, who we have been linked with today. And the story, I will say from the start, it makes sense and it makes absolutely completely no sense. So we're linked with Thuram from Nice, who is a central midfielder, can play defensive midfield if you want to say that. He's 22-ish. I think he's 22. I'm pretty sure he's 22, something like that. Plays for Nice, has a contract until 25, I guess. I will read out the reports. This from Tuttosport saying, once Juve sells Zakaria and loans out the others, Miretti, they will move for another midfielder. At the top of the list is Thuram. Despite the high price, Juve has already discussed it with Nice and can finance a move with players' exits. We can finance that move if the player exit is Chiesa. And not position-wise, but money-wise. That's when we can finance that move. Repubblica came out with a news bit that I was not even going to tweet out because it's embarrassing that it's out there saying that we can do that deal by including Pellegrini in like 10, 15 million euros. And you need to laugh at these things because Nice value him at least 40 million euros, even more because Liverpool were close to 40 million and they were not eager to sell. That's the reality. We don't have 50 million euros to buy home at this moment in time. That's the state of the club at this moment in time. So it's good. Yes, he can be at the top of the list. Why wouldn't he? He's a good player. He's good on the ball. He has a big engine, in my opinion, from what I've seen. And he's a very, very good player, with great potential, 21, fits the mold. That's what we need to do, whatever. And yes, he can be at the top of your list. Why wouldn't he? He's at the top of the list of many teams, like a Liverpool. So that makes sense. It makes no sense that we are gonna fund him with selling Zakaria. It's not gonna happen. So brush that to the side. It's a fun story, and I believe we were in for him. I believe we asked Nice for information, but we also asked him information for Todibo, excuse me, and that was too much, and it was like 30 mil. So how is this gonna work then when it's even more than 30 million euros? So fun, but not gonna happen as of now. Let me talk about the other thing that it's not gonna happen, which I want to happen, and that's Gravenberg and Goretzka. But I will focus on Gravenberg because they both want to leave kind of Bayern. Bayern are open to let them go. Gravenberg didn't play last season. He didn't, get into first gear basically. He's 21, I believe. I like him. I've said it last season. I absolutely like him. Not having a good season or because he wasn't playing, it didn't work out for him. I still believe in his talent. He's extremely young, like 21. It's still young. I just like him. I think he's very good on the ball, technically clean player, and he's just very good positioning wise. From what I've seen at Ajax, again, I cannot go off Bayern because he didn't play as much. Let me see because I wrote it down. He played like 24 games, but like only 600 minutes, maybe something. I think it was less than 600 minutes. So it's actually nothing if we're being completely honest. But he's a very good player. Would I take him? Absolutely. but Bayern are not going to let him walk for 20 million. Like, it's not going to happen. So again, a deal that we're not going to do, but a deal that, I believe would improve us in the long run. I believe is a type of signings we should be make if viable, even if possible, get these type of players before they make the move to a Bayern. I think that's the goal long term. But it's just not going to happen. I think he has a deal also as well till 28 with Bayern. So very long deal. It's just not going to happen. And I believe we're interested in him because we have been interested in him in the past. But between interest and actually a realistic option to get is a big, big difference. So forget about that as well. Now back to real life. And it's Milik. Roma have shown interest in Milik. They have asked for information. Actually, this news story was floating around weeks ago, maybe a month ago, from actually decent sources that they could make a move. But we were asking for 50 million. That's too much, says Roma. And I agree, it is too much. Like, it is too much. Nobody's going to pay 50 million euros for Milik. But if Roma comes in with a 12 million euro offer, whatever, take it and leave it. Take it. Absolutely take it. Even 10. Like, if you make a profit on Milik, let him go. Just let him go and reinvest that money because it's not going to make a big difference. Long term, it's not going to make a big difference. It isn't. So, yes, because Tammy Abraham is injured, so they need somebody to come in at this point. I don't think it's going to happen. But Milik himself said a couple of weeks ago that, even me, like, I can be sold. If an offer comes in, the club thinks it's good enough, they will talk and they will sell, So I think they know what the situation at the club is. But I that would be very crazy if that actually happens. But nobody's going to pay 50 million euros for Milik, and especially not Roma. So for now, put that away. But I believe they are interested because that was out there even before he joined us again from Marseille. Let's move on to Rovella, who I'm still not certain he's going to be here next season because of the injury, missing preseason basically. He came back very late because he had extra vacation because he played the World Cup with Italy or the Euros with Italy, like Miretti and the others. Had a few training sessions and done, injured, and I don't think that's helping himself. A bit like the Fagioli thing before he went on loan to Cremonese. Of course, that was because he was late for the training game. He was excluded. I just don't have a good feeling. I'm not certain that he's going to stay at this point. I'm like, if he gets moved on loan again, and that's that news that Monza are still hoping to get him on loan, also because we don't play many games, and if we have too many players, it's pointless, and the club apparently wants to sign another midfielder, which I'm not sure who's that going to be. If it's a Freuler, then yeah, it makes no sense. But I'm not 100% sure that Rovella is going to be here. He has nothing to show for this preseason, and that's worries. Like, I'm not saying that's the reason to move him on, but I can see how Allegri will view that as, man, I've done with this in preseason. Like, McKennie apparently now staying when he told him he's not good enough mid-season, and he was right. And now he's apparently an asset. He's not. All these things are building up, in my opinion, to a scenario where he could potentially leave on loan again. I think we need to keep that as a serious option and just not say, that's not going to happen, because it can actually happen. It can very easily happen, in my opinion. But let's see how that will go as well, because that can go really quickly. If you tell Monza yes, Monza will take him on loan again. So let's see. Now the winter, that's an ongoing saga, a bit like the Zakaria one. Like a week ago, it was very close to Genoa, just a few issues. Now it's kind of far apart still. And Nice have come into the equation if they're going to sell Todibo, because he is apparently going to Man U if they sell Maguire. They want the winter. However, Juve value him at 10 to 15 million euros. That's probably a bit too much for Nice at this moment in time, but I think you will get that very close to the 15 from Nice, and they both want to sell. They want to buy, we want to sell. Genoa want a loan with an option, all those things. So the club will probably push for that if that happens. But again, Maguire needs to be sold, Todibo needs to be sold, and then the winter to Nice. All that in 3 weeks' time, knowing how slow Man U is, knowing how slow we are, that doesn't sound really realistic at this moment in time. So again, something to keep an eye on. He's gone. He's out of the door. It's just who is he going to join, and are we going to get that money straight up front, or do we need to wait at the end of the season and be like, oh, Genoa stayed up, we're going to get that, or they drop to Serie B, we're not going to get that. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now, to end the story, to end the news daily, is Chiesa, Nicosia saying that Ali wanted Chiesa in June before they signed Sam Maximin from Newcastle, but Chiesa turned that offer down. I saw weird reports today saying that he's proving himself and Allegri appreciates him more now, and he's working on the individual aspects of the play and all that PR stuff. Chiesa is a good player, a very good player. If you cannot make it work with Chiesa, then you need to leave the club as a coach. Like, it's as simple as that. I don't need stories out there that, oh, he's proving himself in training and he's working on individual things and he has ideas. But if you didn't have an idea how to use Chiesa when you joined 2 years ago as a coach or 3 seasons ago, whatever, then you're the wrong guy for the job, which I think he is. Like, very strange reporting. Like, it's Chiesa. If you cannot work with Chiesa, then who else are you really going to bring in on this low budget for you to make it work? It's ridiculous, and some people fall for these stories. A lot of people don't, which is good because it's the weirdest news reporting I've seen in a very long time. But that's the daily news. In a nutshell, nothing really happened. Like, absolutely nothing again happened. And I thought it was going to be more of a bigger week, that we had some kind of deals done by now, but nothing really happened, So let's see how that will develop in the next couple of days. As always, I will be live to talk about Pogba, because that's a story in itself, which I'm not going to debate on this video. So join me later live or rewatch live afterwards. Like this video, like the live as always, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back in the live and tomorrow as well. Thanks for watching. Ciao.